Good day, greeting students. I am very happy to meet you all again in grade 12 economics. We are in IED, the part B of our economics, Indian economic development. We have already completed 2 chapters. This is our 2 units and this is our 3rd unit, current challenges faced by the Indian economy. And in that we are seeing the 8th chapter, which is about infrastructure. So already we have completed one session about infrastructure. What is infrastructure? It provides supporting services in the main areas of industrial development, and we have seen that the economic development and infrastructure goes hand in hand. However, if infrastructure increases, if the infrastructure develops, then obviously the economic development of the country is good. So if economic development of country is good, then obviously we have to invest more in infrastructure is what we have discussed so far, and we have discussed about the economic and social infrastructure. Right, what did we discuss? Infrastructure can be classified into 2 categories. One is called the economic infrastructure and we have the social infrastructure. Talking about economic infrastructure, it deals with things that help us in economic activities and economic development. Country oda economic development ku help pandra madiri irukira ella activities ku support pandra services economic infrastructure நம்ம சொல்றோம். Second thing, social infrastructure அப்படினா to be in a society, to feel the sense of belongingness in a society, we discuss about this social infrastructure. So what are the examples of economic infrastructure? We discussed energy, telecommunication, and transportation. Right, these 3 are there economic infrastructure, examples of economic infrastructure. Talking about social infrastructure, we have education, health, and housing. Right, so out of this economic infrastructure, the discussion about energy is given in detail, but since it is a deleted portion, we didn't discuss it, but we just saw it briefly. What is meant by energy, what are the various sources of energy, what is conventional, non-conventional energy, all this discussion we had it very briefly. So as I have suggested you, go through the text. If you don't understand, yes, of course you can ask me. And now we are moving on to our discussion about the social infrastructure, and in that we are going to talk primarily about health. So what are we going to talk about today? In this session we are going to talk about health. What is being healthy? What is that? I am healthy, I am unhealthy, healthy food, unhealthy food, everything connects to health again. So health அப்படினா என்ன? Is it just being not ill, நமக்கு உடம்பு முடியாம இல்லாம இருக்கிறது மட்டும்தான் ஹெல்த் நம்ம சொல்றோமா? Is it only the absence of disease? No. Health is not only the absence of disease. Okay, it is not only the absence of disease, but also what does it talk about? It also tells us, okay, but also the ability to realize one's potential. Okay, so what is it? It is not only the absence of disease but also the ability to realize one's potential. என்னால் எவ்வளோ செய்ய முடியும், எவ்வளோ நடக்க முடியும், எவ்வளோ ஓட முடியுங்கிறது கூட என்னோட ஹெல்த் ஸ்டேட்டஸ் தான். என்னால் இத்தனை கிலோமீட்டர் வாக் பண்ண முடியும்னு நம்ம சொல்கிறோம். இப்போ when people fast, they walk without slippers, they walk a long distance. இது எல்லாமே என்ன? That's my potential. What I can do, what I cannot do. A small kid of 6 years or 7 years cannot walk for a long distance, but a young man or a young woman of somewhere around 25 or 30 years can walk a long distance. Otherwise, when you take the senior citizens of 60, 65, they can't walk that much quicker, or they cannot walk that much of distance. So அது எதனால அப்படின்னா we say that it is an age factor. But the fact is, it is a health factor. அவங்க ஹெல்த்தியாக இருக்காங்கன்னா இந்த ஏஜ்லேயும் அவங்களால வாக் பண்ண முடியும். ஓகே, ஸோ we see the differences even, right? 25-30 years ஓல்டில் இருக்கவங்க கூட ஒரு சிலரால் நிறைய ஒர்க் பண்ண முடியும், ஒரு சிலரால் நிறைய ஒர்க் பண்ண முடியாது. It is concerned with their health. So what is health actually? Health is not the absence of disease, but also the ability to realize one's potential, what I can do. It is the holistic process related to the overall growth and development of a nation. So என்னோட health நான் சொல்கிறது, it is my physical health as well as my mental health. Okay, how strong I am a very strong person. ஃபிசிக்கலாக என்னால் இந்த டேபிளை லிஃப்ட் பண்ண முடியும், பட் மென்டலி ஐ ஆம் ஸ்ட்ரெஸ்ட் அவுட், ஐ ஆம் டிப்ரெஸ்ட் அப்படின்னா ஐ கான்ட் ஹேண்டில் திங்ஸ். So health is holistic, which it incorporates both. Health is the overall health only we are talking about. And as we have already seen, a healthy person can work better and efficiently than a sick person. This is an accepted truth. Okay, so how do we assess health? What are the health indicators of a country? நம்ம நேஷன் வைஸ் பார்க்கணும் இல்லையா? So if a country is healthy, or to say that the people of this country are really healthy, அவங்களோட food habits கரெக்டாக இருக்குது, they are very very healthy ன்னு எதை வச்சு சொல்கிறோம்? Through the health indicators. And what do the scholars take as their indicators, health indicators? They take infant mortality and maternal mortality rates. What do they take? Infant mortality and what else? Maternal mortality rates. Already we have discussed, right? Both are important. Because during colonial rule we said that children died very soon. Children were born unhealthy. Malnutrition was prevailing. Still it is prevailing. When we discussed about our poverty and poverty alleviation program, malnutrition இருக்கு. Peopleக்கு என்ன ஒரு இம்பார்ட்டண்ட்டான பேசிக் நீடாக நம்ம சொன்னோம்? We said that it is health requirement. Isn't it? So அது அவங்களோட ப்ரொடக்டிவிட்டின்னு நம்ம சொல்கிறோம். But apart from that, when we discuss human development, we agreed that it is a right of every human being to be healthy. Fine. So that is what we are discussing here. Infant mortality rate, that is per 1000 or per 100 க்குன்னு கணக்கு எடுக்கிறப்போ the rate should be minimized. The child death அது கம்மியாக இருக்கணும். maternal mortality rate அப்படின்னா women who die during their labor pains, pregnancy. ஸோ அந்த டைமில் அவங்க ஃபேஸ் பண்ணுற problems, okay, all these discussions on maternal mortality rates. Then we have this life expectancy and nutrition levels. Average lifespan nu solrom 65 years. Earlier it was around 80 years, 90 years, 100 years. Now what happened? It slowly at one point of time it fell 40-45 years koda dhaan irundichu in the lifespan, life expectancy. Adukapprama due to the increase in the infrastructure and due to the medical development, it has now been pushed up to 65 to 70 years illaya. Or healthy life ku நம்ம லைஃப் எக்ஸ்பெக்டன்சி கொடுக்கறது 65 to 70 இயர்ஸ் நம்ம கொடுக்குறோம். ஓகே, ஸோ த லைஃப் எக்ஸ்பெக்டன்சி அண்ட் நியூட்ரிஷன் லெவல்ஸ். Last but definitely not the least, the incidence of communicable and non-communicable disease. How often does it happen? Incidence of communicable and non-communicable diseases. Okay, so communicable means contagious. So COVID, it is a communicable disease. It can come from one person to the affected person to the another person. Non communicable அப்படி நம்மளால transfer பண்ண முடியாது. Example like cancer or jaundice, that kind of diseases, that kind of illness cannot be communicable. அது ஒருத்தர்கிட்ட இருந்து இன்னொருத்தருக்கு பரவற மாதிரியான நோய் வந்து கிடையாது. Fine, not so easily done. Okay, so why do we want to know this incidence of communicable and non-communicable diseases? It also tells the health status in the country. எவ்வளோ அவேராக இருக்காங்க, அதுக்கு எவ்வளோ ப்ரிப்பேர்டாக இருக்காங்கன்னு ஸ்டடி பண்ணுறது எல்லாமே சேர்த்து தான் நம்ம ஹெல்த் இண்டிகேட்டர்ஸ்ன்னு சொல்கிறோம். Okay, and whose responsibility is to ensure that all these are kept under proper control? It is the responsibility of every country's government to take care of it and to ensure the right to be healthy for every citizen. எல்லாருமே ஹெல்தியாக நான் இருக்கேங்கிறது என்னோட ரைட். அண்ட் who ensures this? It is the duty of the government to ensure it. அதுக்கு தான் நமக்கு மெடிக்கல் கேம்ப்ஸ் இருக்குது, செகண்டரி ஹெல்த் சென்டர்ஸ், ப்ரைமரி ஹெல்த் சென்டர்ஸ், right, the awareness in the madri what to say, the mask, giving hand sanitizer and all those things. It is about what the government should ensure that we are having and realizing the right for healthy living. ஓகே, ஸோ என்ன பண்ணுறோம், அதுக்காக ஹெல்த் இன்ஃப்ராஸ்ட்ரக்சர் அப்படிங்கிறத நம்ம டிஸ்கஸ் பண்ணுறோம். வாட் ஆர் த திங்ஸ் தட் இன்க்ளூட் இன் ஹெல்த் இன்ஃப்ராஸ்ட்ரக்சர்? இட் இஸ் லைக் டாக்டர்ஸ், நர்சஸ், pharmacies, hospitals, beds, required scan facilities, x-ray machines, injections, everything. ஓகே, இப்போ நம்ம கோவிட் டெஸ்ட் கிட்டுன்னு ஒன்று வச்சுருக்கோம், அது everything, the ambulances, okay, the stretchers, the wheelchairs, all these are included in health infrastructure. ஏன் இதுவும் health infrastructure அப்படின்னா, a patient is rushed to the hospital னு வச்சுக்கோ. Okay, the patient is rushed to hospital na, first they need some vehicle to transport the patient to the hospital. So anga ambulance comes into effect. நம்மளோட வண்டி அங்கே இருக்கலாம், இல்லாமல் போகலாம். என்கிட்ட வண்டி இருந்துச்சுன்னா, if I have a car, I can take the patient. There are families who do not own a car, so அவங்க என்ன பண்ண முடியும்? For that only they have the ambulance services. Free ambulance services is given by government. They don't charge anything at all. So அவங்க என்ன பண்ணுறாங்க? They take the patient safely to the hospital. Ambulanceல என்ன facility இருக்கு? They can give the first aid. There is a medical assistant in the ambulance who takes care, immediate first aid என்ன கொடுக்கணுமோ அதை எங்கே கொடுக்குறாங்க? in the ambulance itself they provide it and then they take them to the hospital கொண்டு வந்துட்டோம். அங்கேருந்து we have to move the patient. okay, எப்படி? get down and walk. can you tell that to the patient? எழுந்திரிச்சு நடந்து வாங்கன்னு சொல்ல முடியாது. there you need the stretchers, wheelchairs, help of nurses and people who work there. அவங்களோட ஹெல்ப் இருந்தால் தான் நம்மளால் அதெல்லாம் செய்ய முடியும். then you need to take a scan, then you need oxygen. all these are included in health infrastructure. things that take care of our health is included in health infrastructure. இது எல்லாருக்குமே என்னவா இருக்கணும்? it should be accessible to everybody. is it accessible to everybody in our country? yes, it is accessible to everybody in our country. யாரா இருக்கட்டும், நம்ம கவர்மெண்ட் ஹாஸ்பிட்டல்ஸ் போகிறப்ப they do not ask who are you or where are you from or no, they don't do that. they give you first aid, whether you have money, whether you don't have money. they don't see all these things. they give you the treatment. so that is the government's responsibility being realized. அதுதான் அவங்க செய்கிற அந்த responsibility. okay, so rich and poor do not matter when it comes to hospitals or health centers run by government. and there are certain hospitals who accept these insurance policies, who accept the government programs given, okay, to help the poor people. when you want to take the patient to a specialist, all these are available in our country. talking about Tamil Nadu, yes, in our state also every government, the political parties might change, so does the government. political party change aachina and the ruling party change aachina, the government obviously changes. but one thing that is kept constant is the programs that has been created for education and health. adoda programs they'll modify. அதே programs அதே நேமோடு இருக்காது. the programs might be modified, but still some sort of programs are given for the people to benefit out of it. no government has demolished any of the government hospitals or closed any of the primary health centers. they plan on increasing the numbers, but they never come down. for example, now this government has planned mini clinics. what is this mini clinics? these are helpful for the primary health center. so that we are going to discuss now. what is a primary health center, what is meant by a secondary health center, what is a tertiary health center, why do we have mini clinics in Tamil Nadu, and all those things is what we are going to discuss now. okay, the state of health infrastructure. state of health infrastructure in our country. what are the things that comes here? the government has the constitutional obligation to guide and regulate all health related issues such as medical education, adulteration of food, drugs and poisons, medical profession, vital statistics, mental deficiency and lunacy. so government has obligations to deal with lots of health related issues. what are those health related issues? so it's not only about hospital, isn't it? what are the other issues we have? adulteration of food poisoning ஆகாம இருக்கிறது, adulteration of food, medical education, isn't it? medical colleges are being constructed. then adulteration of food, drugs and poisons, medical profession, vital statistics, doctors being appointed, isn't it? They have certain norms to be followed. Medical profession, vital statistics, nutritional value that needs to be followed, and mental efficiency and lunacy. For that even we have treatment. Mental efficiency, because those who go to a psychiatrist are not only people who are not in a good mental condition, but people who are depressed, who couldn't sleep, அந்த மாதிரி எல்லாருமே போகிறாங்க. ஸோ தே ஹாவ் சம் சார்ட் ஆஃப் மென்டல் இல்னஸ், தட்ஸ் இட். வி கேனாட் மேக் ஃபன் ஆஃப் தெம் ஆன் இட். அதை வச்சு அவங்களை கிண்டல் பண்ணுறது ரொம்ப 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 தப்பு. தே நீட் ஆ ஹெல்ப். இட் மைட் பி அ சிம்பிள் ப்ராப்ளம், பட் இட் இஸ் ரியலி ரியலி ஹெவி. என்னால் தூங்கவே முடியல அப்படின்னா ஹவு கேன் ஐ பி ஹாப்பி? Isn't it? If someone, you just imagine, if someone wakes you up in middle of the night and tell you something, you would not even be ready to listen. I just want to sleep. That entire day you will be unhappy. எல்லார் மேலேயும் கோபப்பட்டுட்டே தான் இருக்கும். It is because sleep is essential for us. அது இல்லை அப்படின்னா we can't be good. ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கிற ப்ராப்ளம்ஸும் they go to a psychiatrist, isn't it? So the mental illness, that is what is given as mental illness or deficiency. I don't want to put lunacy here. All these are taken care by the government. They ensure that all these are taken care. Okay, the union government evolves broad policies and plans through the Central Council of Health and Family Welfare. It collects information and renders financial and technical assistance to state governments. So what are the various levels in the health centers is what we are going to discuss now. Health structure and manpower at different levels. So different levels of various levels of health infrastructure. So we have the primary health centers, the primary health centers, ஆரம்ப சுகாதார நிலையம். Then the secondary health centers, it includes hospitals with scan facilities and all the internal operating facilities. No operations will be conducted in PHCs. Primary health center ங்கிறது it will be set up to give the first aid and basic requirements மட்டும்தான் primary health center. தவிர any major ailment will not be treated in a primary health center. எதுக்கு primary health center? It is kept in places like villages, very backward places. அங்கே வந்து டெக்னாலஜி அப்டேட் பண்ண முடியாதுங்கிற அந்த மாதிரியான பிளேசஸில் மட்டும்தான் primary health centers இருக்கும். ஏன் அப்படின்னா immediate attention, for an immediate attention. ஸோ இப்போ வந்து ஒரு ஃபீல்டில் ஒர்க் பண்ணுறாங்க, அக்ரிகல்ச்சரில் ஃபீல்டில் ஒர்க் பண்ணிகிட்டு இருக்காங்க, தெர் இஸ் அ ஸ்னேக் பைட்டுன்னு வச்சுக்கலாம். தே கான்ட் வெயிட் ஃபார் தி ஆம்புலன்ஸ் டு ரஷ் அப் டில் தேர், இல்லையா? சம்டைம்ஸ் தெர் இஸ் நோ ப்ராப்பர் ரோட், அவங்களால ப்ராப்பராக ரீச் பண்ண முடியாது. அண்ட் சம் எயில்மெண்ட்ஸ் ஹேவ் டு பி ட்ரீட்டட் இமீடியட்லி. ஸோ அப்படிங்கிறப்போ தட் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் எய்ட் இஸ் கிவன் பை தி பிரைமரி ஹெல்த் சென்டர் அண்ட் தென் தே ஆர் டேக்கன் டெஃபினெட்லி டு த செகண்டரி ஹெல்த் சென்டர்ஸ். ஓகே, அட் அ டிஸ்ட்ரிக்ட் லெவல். ஒரு ஊருக்கு ஒரு பெரிய ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் இருக்கும் இல்லையா, பெரிய ஆஸ்பத்திரின்னு அவங்க சொல்லுவாங்க. ஸோ தட் செகண்டரி ஹெல்த் சென்டர்ஸ் ஆர் பேசிக்கலி தி ஹாஸ்பிட்டல்ஸ் வித் ஃபெசிலிட்டிஸ் ஆஃப் ஆப்ரேஷன், எக்ஸ்ரே, ஸ்கேன் அண்ட் ஆல் தோஸ் திங்ஸ். அண்ட் ஃபைனலி வி ஹாவ் த டெரிஷியரி ஹெல்த் சென்டர்ஸ், bigger associations which concentrates on educating on medical science, okay, and setting up rules and regulations. That kind of things will be there in tertiary health centers. So this PHCs has been set up by the government. India also has a large number of hospitals run by voluntary agencies and the private sector. Private sector hospitals also are there, but primary health centers we don't have the second primary health centers do not have the private sector. Secondary hospitals mattumda vandu primary health secondary hospitals-க்கு மட்டும்தான் private sector enter ஆயிருக்கு. பிரைமரியில் வந்து private sectors இருக்காது. ஏன்னா பிரைமரிங்கிறது it is first aid, creating awareness, அந்த மாதிரி விஷயங்களுக்கு private sectors involvement is very very less. Secondary sectorங்கிறப்போ you have the medical colleges, the medical universities, அதெல்லாமே வந்து secondary sectorல இருக்கும். There you have private sectors involvement, whereas this tertiary sector or many premier institutes which not only impart quality education and conduct research, they conduct research. AIIMS irukanga illaya, so they are an example for tertiary health center. Okay, postgraduate institute Chandigarh, Jawaharlal Institute of Postgraduate Medical Education and Research, Neurosciences in Bangalore. All these are found to be the third level, the final level, tertiary sector. Okay, so we have so many hospitals, we have so many clinics, we have so many private clinics even, right? Or government doctor koda private la evenings la or clinic vechirukanga, right? So these clinics you can find everywhere. So edukkaga nama ivlo periya sector irukku appadina to take care of the health infrastructure of the country. So health infrastructure ngradhula government has enough it has enough hospitals is what they tell, but still the requirement keeps on building. இப்போ நம்ம பார்க்குறோம், இப்போ நம்ம எதுக்கு இவ்வளோ many clinics open பண்ணுறோம் அப்படின்னா places where these primary centers are also not there. இந்த mini clinicsல என்ன இருக்கும் அப்படின்னா these mini clinics are a system of Tamil Nadu only. Tamil Nadu healthcare system ஓடுது. So you have a doctor, a nurse and a medical assistant to lift the patient, to help the patient. That kind of person is called the medical assistant. It is set up where there are no PHCs and more poor people live. So அவங்களுக்கு ஹெல்ப் பண்ணுறதுக்காக இது செட் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. Okay, as of now in Tamil Nadu we have 1851 primary healthcare centers only in Tamil Nadu. Along with this primary health centers, we are going to have these mini clinics working for the benefit of poor people. இது யாருக்கு பெனிஃபிஷியலாக இருக்குன்னு ஓப்பன் பண்ணுறாங்க? It is for the benefit of the poor people. Let it be a political thing or let it be a social welfare thing, fine, but it would be really successful only when poor people really get used out of it. அவங்களுக்கு அதில் அவங்களோட நீட் சாட்டிஸ்ஃபை ஆனால் மட்டும்தான் we can say that this system has come to a success or has been a successful program. So from the independence our country has been focusing on the health infrastructure. ஏன் அப்படின்னா it not only increases the labor productivity but it also concentrates on the well-being of the human being. So நம்ம சொசைட்டின்னு பார்க்குறப்போ இண்டிபெண்டன்ஸுங்கிறப்போ everybody are equal, right, we have a policy called equity. So equity la everybody has a right to be healthy, whether they are rich, whether they are poor, whether they can afford it, whether they cannot afford it, they should be healthy. Adukkaga da government takes these many steps towards the health infrastructure, and it is a very very important thing. Now we are going to discuss about the private sector's health infrastructure. How come private sector entered in this, and what is the role of private sectors in this? We get to hear a lot of stories, good as well as bad, about this private sector involved in hospitals. So there are really good private hospitals as well as hospitals that try to exploit people. So government again has to give the permissions appropriately. Government permission illama private sector cannot enter the health field, so they have to be careful in it. So the public health sector has not been so successful in delivering the goods about which we will study. Private sector has grown by leaps and bounds. Private sector. How much it has grown? More than 70% of the hospitals belong to private sector. Competition. People become health conscious. So again it has become like a competition. 70% of the hospitals belong to, we know this, in a district, if there is one government hospital, there will be 20-25 at least private hospitals, starting from small clinics to a multifaceted hospital, a multi-speciality hospital. Everything is there. Private sector's involvement is there. They control nearly 2/5 of the beds available in the hospitals. Nearly 60% of dispensaries are run by the private sector. Dispensaries are small clinics, right? They provide health care for 80% of outpatient and 46% of inpatient. So what is the difference between outpatient and inpatient? Outpatient means we go, we have an illness, we get treated and we immediately come. Inpatient is who get admitted in the hospital and they take treatment. So private sector has been playing a dominant role in medical education and training as well. So they are doing everything. Researchum pandranga. This vaccination, government in combination with the private sector only is doing this. So the sale of paramedicals, how many paramedicals companies are there now? We see medical representatives, right? Those are all private sectors. And these X-ray machines, lab technicians, how many people are getting employed? Again, health infrastructure improve aga adukku undana education நம்ம pursue பண்ணா நமக்கு employment opportunities நிறைய கிடைக்குது. Earlier the lab technicians were very less. யாருமே அவ்வளவா lab technician படிக்க மாட்டாங்க. Now they are interested in it because every private hospital has a scan facility, has an X-ray facility, has a lab to do the blood test, urine test and all the other tests pertaining to it. அப்படிங்கிறப்போ lab technicians are also wanted, aren't they? இப்போ ஒரு government hospitalல it takes some time to give these scan facilities and all those things. அங்கே வந்து charge ரொம்ப கம்மி, yes of course, but it takes time for government to identify, yes இங்கே நீடு இருக்குது, இங்கே நிறைய பேருக்கு ஸ்கேன் பண்ண வேண்டிய நீடு இருக்குன்னு கவர்மெண்ட் ஐடென்டிஃபை பண்ணால் மட்டும்தான் அந்த ஹாஸ்பிட்டலுக்கு ஸ்கேன் சென்டர் வரும். ஆனால் இப்போது ஒரு ப்ரைவேட் ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் கன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ட் பண்ணுறாங்கன்னா அவங்க ப்ளூ பிரிண்ட், கன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ஷன் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுறதுக்கு ப்ளூ பிரிண்ட்லேயே என்ன இருக்குது, அங்கே ஒரு ஸ்கேன் சென்டர் ஆப்வியஸாக இருக்குது. அங்கே கன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ட் பண்ணுறப்ப எல்லாத்தையும் சேர்த்து தான் கன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ட் பண்ணுறாங்க. ஸோ வாட் இஸ் பீப்புள்ஸ் மென்டாலிட்டி? ஐ டோன்ட் வாண்ட் டு கோ ஹியர் அண்ட் தேர், ஐ கேன் ஜஸ்ட் கோ to to a single place and do all my treatments and come out. Right? People who can afford it are doing it. People who couldn't afford it should be taken care by the government. Okay? And one more important thing about India is the medical tourism. What is this medical tourism? We have seen, right? People from different country come to our country for treating their medical problems. நம்ம இந்தியன் ஹாஸ்பிட்டல்ஸில் ட்ரீட்மெண்ட் எடுத்துக்கிறதுக்காக ஃபாரின்லேருந்து வரது தான் நம்ம மெடிக்கல் டூரிசம்னு நம்ம சொல்கிறோம். ஸோ if the health infrastructure is really developed, then we can attract more people like that. Okay, we can help them னு நம்ம சொல்கிறோம். Scholars point out that the private sector in India has grown independently without any major regulation. Some private practitioners are not even registered doctors and are known as quacks who do not know anything. Since the 1990s, owing to the liberalization measures, many non-resident Indians and industrial and paramedical companies have set up state-of-the-art super specialty hospitals to attract India's rich and medical tourists. State-of-art means what? The infrastructure is magnificent. They have all the facilities there, the care they give, all these things are called as what? Infrastructure. See, simple thing from where it starts அப்படின்னா the patient's bed இருக்கு இல்லையா? So if you see, very few beds had in past, very few beds had this kind of lever. So அதை rotate பண்ணா the patient's position will come up, okay, for feeding, eating and all those things, and then they can lie them back. So அது வந்து it took a long time for government hospitals to take that step. ஆனால் private hospitals do not think about it. ஸோ அவங்க செட்டப் பண்ணுறது எப்படி இருக்குது? டு அட்ராக்ட் தி பேஷண்ட். ஸோ த கம்ஃபர்டபிலிட்டி. பேஷண்ட்டுன்னா யார்? someone who is in an ailment. They want rest, they want relief out of it. பெயினே தெரியக்கூடாதுன்னு தான் நம்ம நினைப்போம். இன்ஜெக்ஷன் பண்ணுறப்ப கூட I should not feel the pain of the injection. Many of us do not have the fear of disease, but we have the fear of pain. டிசீஸை விட பெயினில் அழறவங்க தான் ஜாஸ்தி. Even if we have a deadly disease, if it's not painful, we do not show it on our face, we can move on. But nothing, simply I cut my finger with a knife or a blade அப்படின்னா, if it pains I can't control my crying. So that has been understood very well by the private sectors due to liberalization also. They have developed their sector, and some hospitals have developed their business is the fact. Okay, telling multi-speciality hospitals, telling that they give offers. In medical science, they give free offers. In the test panna, in the test free. For these many days, this is our 50% of offer. I don't understand what kind of offers do they give. Right, everywhere you get buy one get one, that's for goods, okay. Even for medical science it has come like that. Yes, sadly that is the fact. Even community and non-profit organizations are involved in healthcare. A few attempts have also been made by rural organizations to build alternative healthcare initiatives. So அவங்களுக்கு தேவைப்படுற மாதிரியான healthcare initiatives நிறைய non-profit organizations எடுத்துட்டு இருக்காங்க. So examples are Seva, Accord, all these are non-profit organizations which take care of their healthcare. So இப்போ நான் recently we have Ashok Leyland in Namakkal, right? Apart from their workplace, they have a separate building called healthcare at Ashok Leyland, or healthcare for the employees of Ashok Leyland, I think. எதுக்காக அது பண்ணணும்? Because the health of their employees is very very important. அவங்க employees healthy-ஆ இருந்தா productivity good-ஆ இருக்கும். Right, so it is connected with their profit as well as with their with the loyalty of their employees. அவங்க employees happy-ஆ feel பண்ண வைக்க முடியும். Okay, so that is what is discussed here in this box number 8.7. So we have live examples where we have the organizations, many companies, they take this effort. Avanga regular medical checkups kudukranga to understand what? To understand that the infrastructure of health is very, very important. Health first of all is important, and that's why the infrastructure related to that is important. Okay, but one thing is that people shouldn't be exploited. This is the important thing that the government should keep in mind and take the necessary steps towards it. Indian systems of medicine. So when we discussed, we said that primary sector is there, secondary and tertiary level. At the tertiary level, there is one more level called Ayush. Now we call it Ayush. The Ayurveda, Unani, Yoga, everything that also comes under our health care system. So the Indian systems of medicines. Homeopathy சொல்றோம் இல்லையா, Indian systems of medicine, ISM, and under this we have the institutes that handle Ayush. So even now when we were discussing about pandemic, adukku saapida vendiyadhu saapida koodadhu adellame vandu Ayush also told this Nilavem what is it, Kabasura Kudineer also was a suggestion given by Ayush. So நம்மளோட ancestors கொடுத்திருக்கிற அந்த ஆயுர்வேதிக் மெடிசின்ஸ் யூஸ் பண்ணி வந்தது தான் இந்த கபசுர குடிநீர், வாட் டு பி ஈட்டன், வாட் நாட் டு பி ஈட்டன். ஸோ நம்ம சும்மா யூடியூப்பில் பார்க்குற எல்லாத்தையுமே நம்ம ஃபாலோ பண்ணாமல் வாட் எவர் ஆயுஷ் சேஸ் இஸ் அப்ரூவ்ட், பிகாஸ் தட் இஸ் ஆல்சோ அ பார்ட் ஆஃப் தி இந்தியன் ஹெல்த் கேர் சிஸ்டம். நம்மளோட கண்ட்ரியோட ஹெல்த் கேர் சிஸ்டமோட ஒரு பார்ட் தான் ஆயுஷ். நான் வாட் இஸ் இஸ் ஆயுஷ் அப்படின்னா, it is the first letters of Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddha, and homeopathy. The acronym only is Ayush. The combination of these. So இவங்க கொடுத்த suggestions தான் வந்து, one of the suggestions is our Kabasura Kudineer, Nilavembe Kashayam and all those things. Okay. Now we have separate education system. Now every government hospitals has this department also. So அது வந்து it is a very gradual process. அதோட இம்பார்ட்டன்ஸ் நம்ம இன்னும் அவ்வளோ ஃபீல் பண்ணல, அதுக்கான இம்பார்ட்டன்ஸை கவர்மெண்ட்டும் இன்னும் அவ்வளோ கொடுக்கல. இட்ஸ் பீன் கோயிங் ஆன், இட்ஸ் இன் அ ப்ராசஸ் கோயிங் ஆன், நாட் வெரி குவிக்லி. இட் இஸ் ஹேவிங் அ வெரி gradual development is what we understand. Indicators of health and health infrastructure, a critical appraisal. So after every government program or something we are discussion, we will do this appraisal. Will do a critical appraisal. So for everything we need an indicator, illaya? So the welfare of the people indicator, we say GDP, or sometimes we say GNP. Okay, we say their educational status, awareness, idu vechi nama solrom. Adhe madri health indicators ku enna awareness, adu edha vechi nama therinjikrom. The health status of a country can be assessed through the indicators. என்னென்ன indicators நம்ம பார்த்தோம்? Infant mortality rate, maternity mortality rate, then we had our life expectancy, nutrition levels, communicable and non-communicable diseases. These were the health indicators we saw. So there is a greater scope for the role of government in the health sector. Okay, because the contribution from GDP towards each sector is what we were discussing, and the sector already we have discussed that energy sector la nammaloda contribution konja jaasthiya irukanum nama paathom, isn't it? Even in the previous chapter in employment we discussed that GDP's contribution, government GDP la irundhu innum konja contribute pannanum towards employment opportunities. Similarly, if they contribute more towards the health sector, then they can definitely get better output out of it. Okay, so the global burden of diseases, the GBD, is an indicator used by experts to gauge the number of people dying prematurely due to a particular disease, as well as the number of years spent by them in a state of disability owing to that disease. So இப்போ நம்ம GBD அப்படின்னா என்ன சொல்கிறோம்? The burden that we face, global burden of diseases. ஒவ்வொரு டிசீஸுக்குமே இதை ஸ்டடி பண்ணுறோம். Global burden of diseases. How many people? What is the indicator here? The indicators are number of premature deaths. What do we mean by premature deaths? So life expectancy is given 65 years, but due to COVID some people died even at 40, 30, 35. Children died. Those are called as premature deaths. Okay, and the number of years spent in disability. ஒரு பர்டிகுலர் டிசீஸ்னால நமக்கு வந்த டிசபிலிட்டியையும் இதில் நம்ம கவுண்ட் பண்ணோம். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் சிக்கன்குனியா அந்த டைம்லலாம் வந்து வி ஹேட் திஸ் ஸ்வெல்லிங், நம்ம பாடி வந்து ரொம்ப ஸ்வெல் ஆகிடும், ஃபுல்லாக the bones, the joints will pain a lot. So that kind of disabilities also should be counted to understand the health status of the country. In India, more than half of GBD is accounted for by communicable diseases such as diarrhea, malaria and tuberculosis. Every year around 5 lakh children die of waterborne diseases. So chikungunya, malaria, இது எல்லாமே வந்து waterborne diseases நம்ம சொல்றோம். That is things that are coming out of water. The danger of AIDS is also looming large. Malnutrition, இப்போ HIV positive, HIV negative ரெண்டு இருக்கு நமக்கு, isn't it? So எதில் என்ன ஆகுது, how is it communicable, how is it being transferred, blood donationல தப்பா போனது, we have seen so much in news, we have seen in movies, right? So this is also becoming large. Is there a treatment for it? No. There are diseases in our country which does not have a treatment still, which do not have a vaccination still. Do we have a vaccination for cancer? No. At present, less than 20% of the population utilizes public health facilities. They do not go much to a doctor. இப்போ எத்தனை பேர் நம்ம டாக்டருக்கு போகணும்? ஒரு நார்மல் கோல்ட் அண்ட் காஃப் வந்துச்சுன்னா we have that fear like, oh my god, will it be COVID? ஸோ உடனே என்ன பண்ணுறோம், we make some decoctions, கஷாயம் ஏதாவது பண்ணி குடிக்கிறோம். Somehow we make ourselves all right. We do not, many of them do not go and approach a doctor at an initial stage. Some of them identify big diseases at a last stage. கேன்சர்லாம் நிறைய பேர் லாஸ்ட் ஸ்டேஜில் தான் வந்து டயக்னைஸே பண்ணுறோம். ஏன்னா we do not realize the importance of health. Okay, we do not see that as an important factor. Cheri edo thalavalikide vittirala, that's it. We do not see that, oh my god, will it be something like a brain tumor or a brain fever. I'm not telling that to get feared for everything, but if you have a continuous ailment and the ailment seri agala, it is repeated அப்படினா, we need to take a general checkup periodically at least. இப்போ நமக்கு ஒரு லைஃப் ஸ்டைல் ஆயிடுச்சு. What is a lifestyle actually? Someone's habits becoming regular is called a lifestyle. And what it has become a lifestyle அப்படினா, now people want to have a general medical checkup every year. So especially when they have senior citizens at home, they definitely take them for a general checkup. அவங்களுக்கு எதுவுமே இருக்காது, இருந்தாலும் they take them for a checkup, eye checkup, ear checkup, எல்லாமே நார்மலாக இருக்கான்னு இயர்லி ஒன்ஸ் அவங்க வெரிஃபை பண்ணுறாங்க இல்லையா. ஸோ that is becoming part of a lifestyle nowadays. நம்மளோட ஃபுட், நம்மளோட டயட் எப்படி மாறுச்சோ அதே மாதிரி தான் நம்மளோட இந்த ஹெல்த் ரிலேட்டட் லைஃப் ஸ்டைலும் மாறிட்டே இருக்குது. Now we see fitness freaks, we see that we all want to be fit. Yeah, why? Just to look beautiful? No, it's not about looking beautiful, it is being healthy. நம்ம எல்லாருக்குமே இப்போ என்ன கான்ஷியஸ் இருக்குது? We all are health conscious. We do not want to take any steps wrongly. Okay, so we have that awareness now. Urban rural and poor rich divide. So medical science ku, how do you divide this? What division you have to do? Urban rural and poor rich divide. Urban rural and poor rich divide. 70% of India's population lives in rural areas. Only 1/5 of its hospitals are located in rural areas. 70% of population are in rural area. But how much hospitals do we have, including private sector? But only 1/5 of the hospitals are there. As I said, in our district, if we have in a city, if we have one government hospital, there are like 25-30 private hospitals, multi-specialty hospitals in a district. When you take a metropolitan city, there is no count. Hundreds, thousands of private hospitals are there. அதுவே நிறைய பாப்புலேஷனில் இருக்கிற ரூரல் ஏரியாஸில் அத்தனை ப்ரைவேட் ஹாஸ்பிட்டல்ஸ், அத்தனை ப்ரைவேட் டிஸ்பென்சரிஸ் இருக்கான்னு கேட்டால் நோ, they do not have. அதனால தான் people who are not registered as doctors practice there. ரைட், அவங்க என்ன பண்ணுறாங்க, சரி அந்த ஊருக்கு டாக்டரே இல்லைங்கிறப்போ someone who is dropped out of medical science or someone who has not even pursued it just goes, sits there as a doctor and earns. Right, we need to make them aware of it. And this is all about statistics. Rural India has only about half the number of dispensaries. Out of about 6.3 lakh beds in government hospitals, roughly 30% are available in rural areas. We see that they don't even have proper bed facilities, and they do not have proper medical infrastructure in rural area is the fact. No proper medical infrastructure is given in rural areas. As far as hospitals are concerned, there are only 0.36 hospitals for every 1 lakh people in rural areas. So the PHCs located in rural areas do not have X-ray facilities. PHC at rural areas do not have X-ray or lab facilities, then how their ailments will be treated? அங்கே இருக்கிறவங்களுக்கு fracture ஆகாதா? Do they not want to do a blood test? பண்ணணும் தானே, but they do not have it. The government should take steps towards this. Okay, states like Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh are relatively lagging behind in healthcare facilities. In rural areas, the percentage of people who have no access to proper healthcare facilities has increased. We do not have proper healthcare facilities there in rural areas is a fact. One of my students who studied medical in Uttar Pradesh used to tell me that he was in a city, okay, like it is a border of city and a village, so that is the only hospital in that big locality, government hospital adu onnu da in that big locality. Uttar Pradesh, we know it's highly populated. ஸோ அங்கே வர பேஷண்ட்ஸ் எப்படி வருவாங்க அப்படின்னா, they will come in bullock carts அந்த மாதிரி வருவாங்க, and they even come with rifles. எதுக்கு அப்படின்னா they have to cross forest and come. ஸோ அப்படிங்கிறப்போ to protect themselves from wild animals, they used to come like that person was telling me. So understand their infrastructure. In reality, நமக்கு என்ன புக்கில் கொடுத்துருந்தாலும், in reality when we discuss this is the situation prevailing. What it happened just before 4 or 5 years. Even if we have a drastic change, there should have been an hospital in that particular region. அப்போதான் அது வந்து it's actually called a drastic change, right? So அந்த மாதிரி இடத்துல இருந்து அவங்க பேஷண்ட்டை கூட்டிகிட்டு வர்றதுக்கு we can set up an hospital there. But what does government see? அங்கே என்ன எதை வச்சு அவங்க டிசைட் பண்ணுவாங்க? number of women there, number of families there, what are the ailments they used to have, what is their food practice, அங்கே diseases spread ஆகுமா, இதெல்லாம் யோசிச்சு தான் they construct a primary health center there. Even though they have primary health center, they do not have facilities like this அப்படிங்கிறப்போ they have to come out to the cities or to the districts where they have these kind of things, and we do not have enough medical graduates to place them. Hospital கட்டலாம், doctors வேணுமே, right? They all work for private hospitals or they all fly towards another country. Then how come we will have doctors to treat us? Isn't it? Especially doctors who, like we get doctors from villages even, right? அங்கே 12th வரைக்கும் முடிச்சுட்டு ஒரு சிட்டிக்கு வந்து படிக்கிறவங்க இருக்கலாம், படிச்சுட்டு many of them do not go back to their villages to take care of them. Very few go back to their villages to treat their families and to treat their their village people. So and the forwardness should come to us also. Okay, so government run hospitals do not provide sufficient facilities. The poor are driven to private hospitals which make them pay like anything. நம்ம government hospital இருக்கிற care, and the government hospital should improve their care and health infrastructure. எத்தனை ஸ்ட்ரெச்சர்ஸ் இங்கே இருக்குது, எத்தனை ஸ்ட்ரெச்சர் அங்கே இருக்குது, இதெல்லாமே நம்ம பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா ப்ரைவேட் ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் சீம் டு ஹாவ் மோர் ஃபெசிலிட்டிஸ். ஸோ என்ன பண்ணுறோம், ஆப்வியஸ்லி the poor people, even if they do not have money, they take their family members to private hospitals without any other way. Okay, so government should take necessary steps towards improving the health infrastructures that is run by the government sector. Private sector is doing good, fine, but somehow that exploitation happens இல்லையா? 1000ல 2 பேருக்கு நடந்தாலும் exploitation is exploitation only. That should be completely prevented. Okay, then we come to a separate topic, women's health. We have discussed health so far in general. We are going to discuss women's health in particular. What is that? Women's health. Why particularly women's health? Because when a woman is strong, she can take care of her family, she can take care of the society, and she goes through maternity. Right? Women only go through maternity, not men. So women constitute about half of the population. The population is also high. Women's health, because of the population and the requirement, they suffer many disadvantages as compared to men in the areas of education, participation in economic activities and health care. Discrimination is being followed in anything. And earlier we had a situation where girls were getting married at a very early age. Child marriages were happening. So child marriages happen means the child delivers another child even before the girl knows what is meant by it. She can't take care of the child, she doesn't know how to do it. So very soon they have to face all these things. So delivery is something that takes half of our energy. Right, என்ன எனர்ஜி இருக்கோ அது அப்படியே போயிடும். We need to have renewed energy only. So அப்படிங்கிறப்போ at a very tender age when they deliver, then their health status will come very down. So child marriages நம்ம prevent பண்ணுறதுக்கு ஒரு main reason என்னன்னா to take care of the women's health only. So we get to know the married women, how many are there. We have the nutritional anemia. We have to take a lot of things. We do not have only the delivery. Abortions are there. Accidental abortions will also damage the women's health. So you need to know that women are not very tender, but these kind of process makes them unhealthy. So அவங்களோட ஹெல்த்துக்கு என்னென்ன மாதிரியான சப்ளிமெண்ட்ஸ் கொடுக்கணும் நம்ம பார்க்கணும். ஸோ அம்மா நமக்கு காஃபி போட்டு தருவாங்க, பட் அம்மா காஃபி போட்டு குடித்தாங்களா இல்லை எனர்ஜி ட்ரிங்க் ஏதாவது குடித்தாங்களா நமக்கு தெரியாது. Isn't it? So how does a woman get her energy is the question here. Health is a vital public good and a basic human right. All citizens should get it equally, whether it is a man or whether it is a woman. We need to get it. Success in the long-term battle against diseases depends on education and efficient health structure. So success in our fight against diseases depend upon our education and health infrastructure. If these two are good, then of course we can fight against diseases. Now we are fighting against this disease for about a year. Yeah. Why are we still fighting? How are we still fighting அப்படின்னா because we are becoming aware of it. ஒவ்வொரு நியூ அப்டேட்ஸும் நமக்கு வந்துட்டே தான் இருக்குது. If they find something new about it, they tell about it to us, so that we became aware about it. And the health infrastructure, again simultaneously they are doing the research process also. So the role of telecom and IT sectors cannot be neglected in this process. ஏன் அப்படின்னா அந்த எஜுகேஷன் இந்த அவேர்னஸ் யார் நமக்கு தரா? நமக்கு through these sectors only. Now we have caller doctor system, we have mobile apps which enables you to have a visual session, an online call, a video call with the doctor to verify what is the problem, to go for a regular checkup. நிறைய hospitals இது கொண்டு வந்துட்டாங்க. Now pharmacies are ready to drop out your medicines in front of your home. ஏன் அப்படின்னா to to enable us to stay at home and to stay safe. ஏன்னா ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் போனால் இது கம்யூனிகபிள் டிசீஸ் இல்லையா, இட் கேன் ஈஸிலி ஸ்ப்ரெட். ஸோ நீங்கள் வீட்டிலே இருங்க. இஃப் இட் இஸ் அ சிம்பிள் திங், ஐ வில் ஹெல்ப் யூ ஓவர் ஃபோன் அப்படிங்கிற லெவலுக்கு வந்துடுச்சு. ஸோ how was it made possible? Because of the IT industries. IT and telecommunication sector plays a vital role in helping the health infrastructure. The ultimate goal should be help to people move towards a better quality of life. So அது என்ன இருக்கணும், being healthy should not be something that is forced. It should become our lifestyle. நான் ஹெல்த்தியாக இருக்கேங்கிறது என்னோட லைஃப் ஸ்டைலாக மாறிடும். ஸோ இப்போ நான் வந்து I want to put down weight, so I am going for a walk அப்படிங்கிறது இட் இஸ் ஃபார் வாட், ஒரு பர்டிகுலர் ரீசனுக்காக நான் பண்ணுறேன். ஸ்லோலி இட் பிகம்ஸ் மை லைஃப் ஸ்டைல். எனக்கு வாக்கிங் போக பிடிச்சிருக்கு, ஐ ஆம் லூசிங் வெயிட், அட் த சேம் டைம் ஐ ஃபீல் எனர்ஜெட்டிக் அப்படிங்கிறப்போ some people they follow it till the end of their lifeங்கிறப்போ it becomes their lifestyle. அப்படி தான் health, being healthyங்கிறது it is becoming the part of our lifestyle. All of us want to feel that way, right? So it should not be denied for anybody because of their affordability. ஃபைன், அவங்களால பே பண்ண முடியலை, அவங்களுக்கு அதுக்கான சக்தி இல்லைங்கிற ரீசனுக்காக தே டு நாட் வாண்ட் டு பி ஹெல்தி, அவங்களுக்கு அதுக்கான ரைட் இல்லைன்னு நம்ம டினை பண்ண முடியாது. ஓகே, ஸோ தட் இஸ் அபவுட் our health infrastructure. So in conclusion, we understand that both economic and social infrastructure is essential for the development system. Support system, as a support system, it entire thing, it influences a lot towards the economic development. And in the last 7 decades of independence, we have crossed more than that of our independence. India has made considerable progress in building infrastructure, and nevertheless its distribution is uneven. So required people mattumdhaan GST use பண்றாங்கன்னா no, many people are using. So distribution has to be stabilized, it should be given to the right people, but still it has taken its steps. It has to take care now about the private sector and the foreign investors. எந்த சைட்லையுமே இது பீப்புளுக்கு பெனிஃபிஷியலாக இருக்கணுமே தவிர பீப்புளுக்கு அகேன்ஸ்டாக எக்ஸ்ப்ளாய்டேஷனாக இருக்கக்கூடாது. ஸோ இஃப் தி ஹெல்த் இன்ஃப்ராஸ்ட்ரக்சர் அண்ட் தி எனர்ஜி இன்ஃப்ராஸ்ட்ரக்சர் இஸ் டெவலப்ட், it will definitely improve the economic condition of the country, is what we understand from this lesson. I hope you have understood it. Go through the deleted portion, and if at all you have any doubts, please feel free to reach me out and get your doubts clarified. Thank you, and may you all have a wonderful day today.